There's something much more significant than making a dollar, and that is making a difference.
What we want to do in the next 5 years is transform that space into a meditation park.
So we were happy to give $6,000 to the school last week.
Hello and welcome to Bridging Birmingham. I'm Jason Mathews.
And I'm Melanie Posey Joseph. As we continue moving forward in this time of uncertainty, I am encouraged by the spirit of community coming together, working together to really make Birmingham and surrounding areas a great place to live.
That's right, Melanie. And before we begin our show, we want to invite you to be a part of the Bridging Birmingham.
Now, if you know of someone with an inspiring story, we want to hear from you. All you need to do is scan the QR code right there on the screen.
The code will take you to a link where you can tell us all about your nominee.
So let's get started with the show. Our first story is about a man we can all certainly be proud of. His name, Larry Thornton Sr. He's an artist, entrepreneur, community leader, and author. Plus, Mr. Thornton was the first African American to own a McDonald's franchise here in Birmingham. For the past 30 years, Mr. Thornton has been an influential force in the community, and his son Dale has been right by his side. Here's their story.
I'm Larry Dale Thornton, Sr., and I'm president of Thornton Enterprises.
And I'm Dale Thornton, and we own 7 McDonald's in the Birmingham area.
Our first restaurant opened in 1992. It was the first restaurant, African-American owned restaurant in the city of Birmingham, so it's a pretty big deal. The mayor, county commissioners were out, business leaders. This is one of the finest young men that any father could ever expect to have. He was 10 years old when we opened the first restaurant, and his title was Playground Manager.
You get the balls, that was back when you had the balls and the play place and whatnot. And like I said, I was probably more in the way than ever, but I made $2 an hour, and I thought I was rich. And my first day, I worked 9.5 hours. He gave me a $20 bill, and I was rich.
It was my way of getting him to understand the basics of the business, and he's done very well, that to the point now he takes the lead. In fact, I go to him with questions. I have been writing, and I'm so proud of this book and the mentoring program. I'm not pushing to sell the book. This is strictly a nonprofit venture. We have been on more than 30 college campuses. I've delivered 4 college commencement addresses, all as a result of this book. And just recently, we've just learned that Central State University, Wilberforce University, Rust College, and now Miles College have all adopted for credit something that I wrote from the guy who failed senior English and graduated in summer schools. To be able to talk about one of our store managers who was in a shelter 4 years ago, she and her 3 kids, and today running one of our more profitable stores. That's where the value is. There's something much more significant than making a dollar, and that is making a difference. And that's what Dale and I are committed to every day. And we share those philosophies of thought on a continuous basis.
This next story is about a business that saw a need in the community and filled it right during the height of the COVID shutdown.
My name is Lillian Kate BUSHELON. I'm the manager at BUSHELON Funeral Home. My father actually started in the funeral industry as a child. When he got the opportunity to own his own funeral home, he jumped on that opportunity and started the funeral home here in 1976. And from there, he's gone from one small white house to a block-long funeral home where his entire family works. BUSHELON Funeral Home is a pillar of strength for the community. We're here just to take care of the bereaved community, but we've tried to kind of expand that and take care of our community as a whole in West End. West End Food Truck Park was started last year in October. We started out with 1 food truck, And from that, we've grown to 12 food trucks that we have here today. We've gotten a lot of people just coming out just to see others. A lot of people during COVID weren't able to see their friends and whatnot. So I have a lot of people who just call and say, hey, meet me at the food truck park. With our food trucks, they pay a weekly fee. And with that weekly fee, what we've done is we put it all in a pot. We have an elementary school that's about a block up from this funeral home. We actually gave that money to them, so we were happy to give $6,000 to the school last week. And just talking to the principal, she said that she had just had a conversation with God saying, well, how am I going to do this? They don't have furniture for their technology class. So that's going to definitely help them and bless them with the things that they need in their school. And I think that that's important to really pour in love on the students at Hemp Hill Elementary, because that's the future of this community. If they see that a business in the community cares about them and wants them to have the best of the best, then maybe they will grow up and they'll continue to do that for others. So hopefully we're kind of paying it forward and hoping that it will change the culture of this community.
Stay with us, more Bridging Birmingham in just a moment. For some of us, getting a massage is a way to relax and pamper ourselves. But according to Lemar Storey, a massage has many mental and physical health benefits.
In Inslee. So what we want to do in the next 5 years is transform that space into a meditation.
As all things digital continue to accelerate, the need for qualified IT personnel is important for businesses of all sizes. That's why Innovate Birmingham provides instruction for students looking to get into the tech workforce, and they do it for free.
I'm Catherine Zahara. I'm the Executive Director at Innovate Birmingham. Innovate Birmingham is a nonprofit that provides completely free tech training for folks in Alabama that want to pursue a career in tech. We also help provide connections for folks to connect with employers that are actively hiring to help them get a kickstart in their tech career. Before the pandemic, we were full-time in person. All of our courses are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. full-time, similar to any job, and everyone was in person. Within a week, we moved all of our programming to fully virtual, and we haven't really looked back since. So there's a couple of different ways that we help students prepare for interviews, and those have all been fully virtual since the pandemic started. So we do mock interviews, which is a practice type of interview, and then we will help participants get set up with job interviews. However, some interviews for jobs will be in person. It really depends more on the hiring company than on us. So Innovate Birmingham's programs are completely free to participants, but the way that we do that is through a variety of different fundraising mechanisms and grants. So we do have some scholarships for folks. The main one that we've been really launching has been with the National Center for Women in Information Technology, and they support women and non-binary folks that are interested in developing a career in tech. Last cohort, we had almost 90% of our participants in our data analytics class were women. So our commitment is to keeping the program completely free, as well as providing additional support. So we do have funds available for folks that need rent assistance, childcare. If you need an interview suit or a haircut to get ready for an interview, we have funds to help us do that. And it's really only possible through the generosity of our supporters.
After the break, they were popular in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Now they're making a comeback. Stay tuned.
Birmingham has a lot to be proud of, and our restaurants and local musicians really top the list, which brings us to our next story.
Supper clubs featuring dinner and live music were popular back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Today, the golden age of supper clubs is making a comeback, and you can find one right here in Hoover, Alabama.
I'm Tremaine Thompson, co-owner of Perfect Note here in Hoover, Alabama. Well, Perfect Note is a restaurant entertainment, kind of like a dinner supper club in a way. We don't note ourselves as a club because we're restaurant retail. When you come in, you're able to see some of our great entertainment. We have some local stars that are national and international, like Kim Scott and Eric Essex. We even got Ruben Studdard. We've had Chrisette Michelle, a lot of big names in the R&B and jazz world, and you can be able, while you're sitting, enjoying a live concert, it's like you're sitting in a restaurant as well, because we're a full service restaurant where the servers come out to be able to take your order, and we got some of the best cuisines that you can be able to taste here in our city. Well, I was born in Chicago and raised in Gary, and then back to Chicago when me and my wife, we actually grew up together in church. So she was my best friend, and which is part owner of this business as well too. A lot of people don't know that, but I was a part of a boy band, and we went everywhere being able to sing. It was gospel music. So music was always our life. So when we came up with this concept, we did it as a test pilot. We found out quickly on the first show we sold out. So we found out quickly that dinner and food concept works. We're actually getting ready to open up another location in Atlanta. I had one customer from Atlanta say, hey, listen, I'd rather drive 2 hours than 20 minutes to another place to be able to come and enjoy the Perfect Note atmosphere. And we've developed our brand to be one of the best minority businesses. Huffington Post did an article on us, staying one of the best places to come visit in all 50 states.
In 2006, D. Green started Virtue Inc., one of the leading nonprofit community-based organizations in the city. Virtue Inc.'s goal is to empower women and educate the community to take charge of their health.
Especially when it comes to breast cancer. Mrs. Green knows there is a need to raise awareness, especially in the African American community. And Virtue Inc. has really made it its aim to bring awareness to a disease that we can now detect, treat, and defeat.
When I think about Virtue Inc., I think about us from the standpoint of being one of the leading nonprofit community-based organizations in the city. We've been around since 2006, and we've been delivering a message that we'd like to think empowers equips and ignites positive change to those that it reaches. Breast cancer is a major focus for Virtue. I had to think about that because some people say that, you know, this and that is a passion for you. It's not really a passion for me, more of a promise for me. In 2006, a young lady within our church, about 36 years old, very dear to me, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She passed away. And I said to Robin, is her name, and I said, you know, I promise that I will continue to raise awareness, bring it to the forefront, and we've been doing that ever since. So it's more of a promise that's become a passion. As a part of the promise, we kicked off last year, this is our second one, Run with Virtue. It's a virtual race. 5K can be run from any place at any time between October the 3rd and October the 9th. To sign up for the race, or just to donate, go to runwithvirtue.com. And the proceeds from the race will go towards research. We found that women need gas. We found that women need childcare. We found that some women need a place to stay. Last year, we donated to the St. Vincent's Foundation and designated that the monies from Virtue would go towards inner city women who needed to have mammograms or just gas to get there, or just somebody to take care of their kids, or medication. So that's what the proceeds are designated to do, and it stays right here in the city.
And just a reminder, if you know someone with an inspiring story to tell, we would like to hear from you. Just scan the code on the screen and tell us about this amazing individual or business.
More Bridging Birmingham after the break. We want to introduce you to a man who, after 6 years on his job, was laid off, so he decided to make a bold career change.
And with no formal training in the retail industry, Narada Garrett decided to risk it all and pursue his passion.
I'm Narada Garrett, owner of Sneakers Inc. We're located right here in Hoover, Alabama at 3704 Lorna Road. Our store, we do buy, sell, trade, and we do consignment. Most of the stuff we sell is new. We do have a few used shoes kind of mixed in there, but we mainly try to focus on new shoes. We sell mainly Jordans. We got Nikes, Air Max, Yeezys, Off-White stuff. It's just what sneakerheads are looking for nowadays. You know, it constantly changes, so you know what's in style now, you know, might not be in style a couple of months from now. It might be something new. So it constantly changes, and we try to stay up to date on that. We've been open for 6 years now. This is a family-owned business. We got, you know, some of my family working here, a couple of friends. I majored in criminal justice at UAB. I actually got my master's in it as well, and I worked in my field for about 6 years, and then I was laid off. And then it kind of opened me up to try to, you know, take some chances to start my own business. You know, I've been passionate about sneakers my whole life. Like, it was something I grew up an athlete, and it just kind of went hand in hand. And I was like, you know, I want to do something that I'm passionate about. It was a rough start the first couple of years, like any other business. But, you know, after a while, it started to pick up. People kind of learned about where we were, you know, what we do, and, you know, we're doing really well now. Don't worry about what other people are saying. Don't be afraid to take risk, you know, calculated risk, you know, to get your dream going. You know, just go after it with everything you got. You know, as long as it makes sense, just go after it. And, you know, if you give it your all, you're gonna get, you know, good results after a while. It's not gonna come easy. It's gonna take a lot of hard work.
That's it for our show tonight. We certainly